Alrighty, folks, it's time. It's time for the bash to begin. Yes, the bash to begin. Yeah, making a different catchphrase when I do the Fanbrad Basher stuff. Prepare to be bashed. Fanbrad, prepare to be bashed. I don't know if you really are one.
Moving on, Queen Alicia arrives back in Knothole and gives orders for her husband to be checked out by a physician. Dr. Quack prescribes lots of bed rest and a daily dosage of pills, which he gives to Antoine for safekeeping. You can almost feel the evil laugh he's suppressing. Hours later, Sally arrives to check up on her father, who tells her that due to his ill health, he and Alicia are stepping down and appointing her the new queen. But first, she must be married so the kingdom will have a king. She reacts to this with shock, and her shock turns to abject horror when she finds out she's expected to marry Antoine. Well, geez, lady, I know he's not a dreamboat, but he's far from the worst option. Or at least he wouldn't be if he wasn't attempting murder, but she doesn't know that.
He's not really Antoine.
But more than her groom being Antoine, Sally takes issue with the fact that he's being forced into an arranged marriage, Dark Ages.
What did Yonky say about this one part? Dude, we'll talk about it later. It's fan bet bashing time, baby.
Style.
And I need
Alicia rationalizes it by revealing that she and Max were paired up by an arranged marriage before they even knew each other, and later came to genuinely love each other, as if all arranged marriages work out this way. The possibility that
Hey, don't you douchebag!
Sally and Antoine won't come to love each other and instead wind up locked into an unhappy relationship till death do they part doesn't seem to have occurred to her. And as if that didn't already turn me against Mr. and Mrs. Medieval Values, Max's response to Sally's continued objections is that he's just glad she isn't marrying that commoner, and then he reminds her of what happened.
Well, yeah, I really didn't like King. The only thing I like about the comic now is the fact that King Acorn, now as he's called, is not a grumpy. Yeah, sometimes I pick apart the comic too, but they're generally my complaints with the characters because they make sense. And yeah, from his standpoint,
last time she made a decision regarding her love life. Sally is driven to tears by his cruelty and runs away. First of all, Max, you ungrateful little tool. That commoner happens to be the only reason why a raggedy little behind hasn't been turned into scrap metal by now. You want to show a little respect?
Exactly.
Second, you're bringing up an isolated moment of history on Ike as if that completely invalidates Sally's ability to think for herself. She may not always make the right decisions, but then again, neither do you, and she's certainly not stupid like you're implying. But hold up, where did Max and Alicia get these rotten attitudes from anyway? They'd always seemed like decent enough folks to me. What happened? I can only assume that this is Penders doing the same thing he did with Tails, giving heroic characters a boost in jerkery for the purposes of soapy melodrama. Here's a tip, Ken. Have the plot serve the characters, not the other way around. Over at Sonic's place, we find him strumming an electric guitar in the company of his mother, who asked him to play Strawberry Valley, a song that Sonic thinks is lame, and so yesterday. And if that was a dig at the Beatles' Strawberry Fields Forever, then my respect for Penders just slipped even lower. But then Bunny shows up looking distraught, sits down next to Sonic, and announces through a torrent of hysterical sobbing that Sally is married. They did kiss, Yeah, Harima, I know! God, I fucking know! Alright? Jesus! Oh man, I really enjoy getting you angry. I mean, usually it's the other way around, but I gotta say, I've enjoyed this so much. Especially that little vein that goes off in your head when you're angry. That's the best. Oh, don't you? Oh, Kenji Richard Harima, don't get. Oh, Kenji Richard Harima Kurosaki, don't get me started with you. Oh, we're going full name on each other then. All right, Argos Jonathan Kurosaki, let's play later though, because we got other issues we need to deal with. Me and you, I guess we still got some fighting. I guess we still got a little fight in our veins. So you thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah. Let's go later. Let's go bug. Let's go bug.
what's his face and let's take his air hockey table and play some air hockey. And people think that we're actually gonna go fight each other. No. Yeah, playing air hockey sounds pretty good. Hmm. Actually, I think we could go to an arcade. I think they still have some air hockey places we could probably go to. I think Crystal Palace has one. They do. I don't know. You're gonna have to like check. I don't know. I just feel like playing some air hockey with you. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why either. But we'll, we'll do it after this video.
Marrying Antoine. Sonic asks if this is a bad joke. Yeesh, why does everyone seem to find the idea of these two getting hitched so horrifically awful? Do they all secretly hate Antoine or something? Sonic tears out of the house and makes way for Castle Acorn, angrily wondering to himself why Sally didn't tell him she was getting married, even though they're still not on the best terms. Actually, if I were Sally and I was marrying another guy, I wouldn't be in a hurry to tell my ex-boyfriend either, because he doesn't need to know. At the royal gates, Antoine stops
Oh,
Sonic and
Sonic feels a little outraged and a little hurt. So what do you expect? Again, characters have this little thing called realism. You may think, oh, they're just doing it for the plot, but it makes them have a little bit more realistic reactions. If that feels trite or forced to you, I don't know what to say. I honestly don't. Personally, I mean, to me, I don't really think it's trite or forced. It's perfectly earned and it makes sense in this situation. Yeah. In this exact situation, it makes
demands to know what
sense.
his business is. Sonic tries to blow him off and force his way in, but ends up on the wrong end of a sword. The two fight, and Antoine gets the upper hand, kicking Sonic off a bridge and declaring that next time he won't be so generous. I'm honestly not sure who to side with here. Sonic is going on a jealous rampage and disregarding authority, and Antoine is resorting to violence just a little too quickly. Much as I'd like to think Penders is deliberately writing them in shades of gray instead of black and white morality, this is more likely a result of poor characterization. Inside the castle, Antoine pays a visit to Sally's room, where he finds her brooding over her impending marriage. She barely asks him whether he's marrying her to spite Sonic or if he actually believes they could ever love each other. Oh, here we go again with the dumping on Antoine. I totally understand her being upset about the arranged marriage. I would be too. But she seems more put out about the fact that she has to marry Antoine. Plus, she's assuming that he is responsible for the whole situation with no evidence to back up her position. Antoine manages to soothe her feelings somewhat by telling her that he doesn't want to marry her either, but he must do so out of duty to the king. Is this how Max and Alicia felt when they got married? Because I really doubt that true love could spring from such a forced and unwanted relationship. The next morning, Quack calls Antoine on the Royals into
It,
Max's room and
is
demands to.
this dude even in a relationship? Who knows, man? I don't think it really matters. Yeah, maybe you're right.
Know if the king has been getting his medicine. As Sally dashes into the room, Quack tells her that Max is now in a coma and he has no idea how long he'll be under. This news awakens a new resolve in Sally, and she marches out of the room, ordering Antoine to prepare for the wedding. Nothing like some good old family tragedy to make you accept your bleak, bleak fate. Down in the Commoners District, Sonic bids his parents goodbye and zips off to take care of some business.
I want to
And by
beat
business,
this
I of course
man
mean
up with a
crashing Sally's wedding.
freaking telephone.
Let me reiterate that for all
What is
Sonic
all
knows,
those
Sally is
ones
marrying
with
Antoine of her own
cords?
free
Yeah,
will. He isn't
the ones
carrying
with
out a
cords.
daring rescue mission to save her from a lifetime of partnership with a man she doesn't love. He just doesn't want her to marry anyone but him. And remember, Sonic is all but dating Fiona at this point. This is tantamount to cheating. A better writer would have framed this as a jilted ex-lover tragically unable to move on from a failed relationship, not some big stinking hero gallantly saving the damsel in distress. And he's too late anyway. The ceremony is already underway by the time he leaves, and after spending a few minutes mentally reassuring herself that life with Antoine can't be all that bad and that her residual feelings for Sonic will pass, she says her vows and becomes Antoine's lawfully wedded wife. The newlyweds walk down the runway, Sally inwardly expressing her woes and Antoine going over his scheme to take the crown. Meanwhile, Sonic pays a visit to somebody. I have no idea who this guy is, and Penders is going to great lengths to keep his identity secret. Any of you guys got the answer? I'm genuinely curious.
Bum, bum.
Anyway, he begs the stranger to stop the wedding, but no dice. That plan having failed, Sonic rushes off to crash the wedding, but a passing couple informs him that the ceremony is already over, and takes the time to remind us that Sonic and Sally are exes. I'm not sure if this is to keep new readers informed, or if it's Penders subtly attempting to frame Sonic's actions as something other than ignoble. And in case there is any doubt in your mind about Sonic's motivations, he outright states in this panel that this is all wrong. She should be with me. Well, there you go. Sonic's not being a hero. He's just being a jealous harpy wanting what he can't have. He tries to break into the castle, but Antoine seems to have anticipated this as the guards show up with orders to arrest him.
But Bugsy, you gotta admit though, me and you are kind of guilty of those. Being kind of jealous over ex loves. Yeah. I'm more guilty than that than you could ever possibly know. Oh, trust me, I know. What was the deal with the whole? What was the deal with the whole mariachi band thing you had me do? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Most of my plans that I thought would work, it didn't, and you know it didn't. But what stuff were you on? Where you were like when you did that freaking rock opera thing? I don't freaking know. I don't know. I was in a weird place. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I was just in a weird place, and that I guess that's just what I thought I could do. We really do have a lot of fun, don't we? Yeah, but you're always busy and I'm always busy, and we never really hang out without on. And I kind of miss just the two of us hanging out. Yeah, because Ani's too busy, you know, trimming the trimming the red hair fantastic, if you know what I mean. Oh man, Harvey, you actually made a joke. That is again, I just I miss this old side of you, man. You used to make jokes. You used to be funny, you know? You used to not be such a oh, I'm so serious. I'm so serious. I'm so serious you can, you know. You used to be freaking, you used to be funny, you know? I gotta say, it is kind of refreshing that it is kind of refreshing to kind of be myself, kind of be my old self again. I know you can't stay this way this often, but still, I miss it. And the weird part is, I miss hanging out with you too, man. Don't get all mushy with your big brother now. It ain't that kind of party. Duly noted. But let's go back to this.
He tries to escape but is easily captured. He begs Sally to ditch her husband to realize that he's the one she wants, but she refuses and orders him dragged away to the clink. Antoine excuses himself from the table.
That's happened. Dude, that's the only reason I didn't want to go to Tim's wedding. Because I just didn't want that to happen. And I know that was going to happen because I know I'd do something stupid. So that's why I didn't go. That's pretty much why I didn't go to Lena's wedding. Because I knew I'd do something stupid too. So, I personally just didn't go. And people say, "Oh, you should have went. You should have went. You would have a good time." No, because we know we'd say something that we'd regret.
One slips off to the king's chamber.
Let us pause. Everybody wants to wake. Everybody wants to get a little piece of this. See you guys in a minute. Hey, Bugsy. What do you think when people say the NW, D Generation X is like NWO? See, I know when people say that. Yeah, I know what it means when people say that. I'm just saying. Before I get back into Sonic, I just want to say that the NWO technically they were bad guys. They were bad guy wrestlers, and they do what they do. They were doing what they do and didn't really care. See, freaking D-Generation X does the same thing, but they only do it to people that mess with them first. See, Vince McMahon messed with them first. The Spirit Squad messed with them first. So they retaliated. That's the difference. You always say like, "Oh, they're freaking a rip-off of NWO." No, they're not. See, the NWO did it because they were bad guy wrestlers. See, the freaking D-Generation X does their little pranks and stuff because Vince was messing with them. In the terms of the wrestling storylines, Vince was messing with them. So, there that is. And, oh yeah. Oh, I'm gonna say that for another video, but look up canceled WWE moments and look up Stephanie Vince being the father of Stephanie McMahon's baby, because that was weird. What is it? Why? I mean, like, why did freaking Vince McMahon want incest? Yeah, you didn't want that little rumor. You wanted that little rumor going around, and then you wanted your son Shane to be like, and then you wanted Shane to take that too. You wanted to re-edit it and make incest. I mean, no doubt it'd be funny, but god dang, man, that's freaking you go too far. You're going too far, and I bet you your freaking kids would have hated you for it if it didn't get canceled and they went through with it. God, but that's another story for another day, and I'll talk about that later.
Give him the final dose of poison. As this all happens, a shadowy rider shows up at the castle bearing a ring with the acorn seal on it. The guards stop him, but immediately bow to his whims when he reveals his face.
It's
The rider
Elias!
orders Sonic's cell opened and reveals himself to be none other than Prince Elias Acorn, Sally's estranged brother who had fallen out of favor with his parents for ditching his royal duties, moving to the other side of the world, and marrying a commoner. Ew. Sonic, shocked at his sudden appearance, asks him why he chose to come back. Elias explains that these are dangerous times, and the transference of power is the most dangerous thing of all. Letting Sally take the throne and elevate her husband to king would pose too much of a risk, and the only way to be certain that nothing could go wrong is for Elias to take the crown himself. Wow, does he trust his sister at all? Apparently he's so convinced that any man
because he knows Antoine isn't right in the head, because we know Antoine is not Antoine.
Mary will be a conniving, backstabbing traitor that he rode halfway around the world to stop her. Like father, like son, I guess. Okay, yes, he's actually right, but he's right for the wrong reasons. Just like Sonic, he has no dirt on Antoine, nothing to imply the dude isn't trustworthy. Basically, his whole argument is that Sally, who has loyally stayed by her parents' side and protected the kingdom at risk of her own life, can't be trusted with power. But he, who ditched his birthright because it is a criminal, but on the inside he's furious, and he immediately decides to use the potion on Elias instead. They all head back into the banquet hall, and Elias announces that he wants that crown. Alicia christens him king quite gladly. In fact, she's so happy about it that it's kind of disgusting. You have no idea how long I waited for.
Bugsy, don't flip him off. Don't you flip him off. Dude, I can't control myself. Yes, you can. Stop being a dude. Stop being a belligerent douchebag. I'm not belligerent. I'm just saying it's just. You want people to beat you down with a sack of dog crap.
For you to take your rightful place. Do you know how close I came to crowning that tramp daughter of mine? And I even forced her to get married for it. Can you believe that? But who cares about her anyway?
No. She was happy because she known her daughter really didn't want to marry Antoine. You freaking... Oh, dig deeper, you son of a... Just dig deeper, dude. Dig deeper.
Being Elias, the true heir to the throne. As if I didn't already dislike this woman.
I want to choke this man with a ladle. How would you... Dude, you don't even want to know what I do. You don't even want to know. I swear to you. Oh, God. But you gotta understand, man. She was happy that Elias came back because they're glad that they have their son back. But also, they're happy because she's happy because Antoine didn't have... Because freaking Side doesn't have to marry Antoine, then Elias is at the throne. Idiot! Realize the relation to character and just find the meaning. Analysts dig a little deeper. And I'm not saying I am one, but I'm close to one. And even I can see what's going on, even though you can't see what's in front of your own... Even though you can't see what's in front of your own damn face. Okay. You done? I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Just let's get this over with. I want to play something.
Plots to eliminate both the new king and his wife and child, thereby forcing the acorns to crown Sally, and by extension, him. He walks up to Elias to shake his hand, with a syringe hidden in his sleeve, ready to jab the king's wrist. But Sonic sees it and tackles Antoine to the floor, exposing the syringe for all to see. Antoine tries to frame Sonic as the would-be killer, but that doesn't fly. Furthermore, Sonic deduces that this is not the real Antoine, but rather Anti-Antoine, an evil mirror universe twin. How does he come to this conclusion? He claims that Antoine was no great shakes as a fighter, but Bunny told him that the scar on his face was given to him in the midst of combat, implying that he certainly could hold his own in a fight. Oh yeah, the scar. That's what clinches it for Sonic. He claims that no one, not even Bunny, could explain where he got that scar. Except Dr. Quack. Why don't you ask him? But apparently, combat skills and a scar are evidence enough for Sonic to conclude that this is Antoine's evil twin. Because it's not like people ever change their moral alignments.
Antoine had, up until this point, Antoine really wasn't really a fighter. Ugh. God. God, Carmen, this is going to kill me.
Especially not in this comic. No way. Despite his questionable logic, Sonic whips out his own link generator and takes the imposter back to Anti-Mobius, where sure enough he finds the real Antoine asleep in what appears to be a hospital, and they both jump back to Mobius Prime. The next day, Sally is still sulking around, but Elias walks in and hands her his first official proclamation as king, the annulment of her marriage. Elsewhere, Sonic lures Bunny out of her house with the promise of good news and reveals Antoine, fresh-faced and scar-free. They immediately kiss and make up. With everything all wrapped up, Sonic resumes his date with Fiona as if he didn't just spend 2 whole issues desperately chasing after the forbidden acorn. Instead of questioning him about that, Fiona presses him about the time Bunny tried to flirt with him. If I were her, I'd be just a bit concerned about the possibility that he's just using me as a replacement for Sally, but that doesn't even seem to cross her mind. And in the final panel, we get a reminder that Tails is still sniveling over Fiona. You know, just so we're aware that this particular bit of character mutilation isn't leaving anytime soon.
Again! These characters are in the freaking comic book. They're allowed to show emotion. Emotion. Oh my god! I'm done. I'm done. You, a Sonic fan. You bested me. You bested me. I'm done. You are so missing the point. You are so not getting it. And it really makes me angry that you don't see what everybody else sees. I'm done, dude. I'm done. I mean, I understand having your opinion, but you should see what everybody else sees. Well, not what everybody else sees, but get why people hold these comics in such regard. And don't be a cynical freaking douchebag about it. And trust me, I'm a cynical douchebag too. But not once do I go like what you're doing right now. Because you're just cynically snipping it apart. But then again, I cynically snip stuff apart too, but I do it in a different way. It's really hard to explain. Okay, Bugsy, you good? I'm good. So, I hear you got a GameCube emulator. Wanna play some Beautiful Joe? Not right now, man. Not right now. Later, though. Because I would really like to play something with you. You know? That'd be, that would be, that's cool. Thanks to the comics, these characters are both, can have a whole range of emotion. They can be sad, they can be happy, they can be this, they can be that. I mean, the only time anybody was really sad in the games was when Shadow died, and that was like a perfectly legitimate thing. You know? I just say don't worry about it, bro. I just say don't worry about it, bro. This dude is just being This dude is probably just being dickish to get a race goat, and you shouldn't let that bug you. I won't, but god dang. These characters acting realistically is the thing. You need that's the thing this dude needs to understand. So for curiosity's sake you wanna look at one of those videos just to make sure if he ever changed his ways? If we can, man. Alright. Sure though, because we can totally just go and do something else. Because, I see this is taking its toll on you.
This man is Ian Flynn, a Sonic fan who was hired to.
Do work that matters. I don't think you even understand that concept, but okay. So let's get out of here. Let's get out of here, Hars. And people, you gotta just like up the freaking A, up the A, up the S. So what? Bugs. Can we watch the Awesomes? Oh yeah, we gotta wait until the camera. Oh, I gotta stop rolling the cameras. This is a lot shorter, but still, I stand by what I say in this video. I stand by what I say in the first part. I stand by what I say in the second part. That this man does not understand the characters. Other characters can have emotions, and they're all understandable. Not all of them are just tripe. What Frank Miller does is tripe. What what Frank Miller does is tripe. What freaking Michael Bay does is tripe. What these people tried to do for the Sonic comic when this storyline was going on, they put their hearts and souls into this. And whether you think it doesn't matter is your opinion. Again, like I said before, it's like I'm just pissing in the wind. Because basically it doesn't make a look of difference what I say. But still, I had to voice my opinion. And tell you how I think you're wrong. Even though you may not think of it as that way, it's just still you need to understand. And you can think of me as a troll. I don't really give a good goddamn. But still, you need to understand. And trust me, I'm not a freaking hater of you. I just think what you're saying is inevitably wrong. Ultimately wrong. And that's all I gotta really say to you. Now, I'm pretty much done. And I'm gonna go play me some Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. So we'll talk to you all later. And no, I'm not doing mock-up today. I just don't want to, guys. This will be the final episode until a while. And I know I'm not really officially ending the series, ending my little series that me and the guys work so hard on. But still, it's it's not something I it's not something I like to do. You know, because Minecraft was my baby. And sure, it may not be as popular as a lot of shows out there, but did get a little bit of a following, and I like that. Though I wish someone would do some fan art of me and the guys. I mean, we've been around a little bit longer than most, so I assume that we'd get some sort of fan art. I mean, you don't have to, but come on, I would really enjoy it if anybody could. You know? But that's all I really gotta say. I'm done. I'm Bugsy, aka the Fan Brat Basher, and I've said my piece. So to all of you, if it's all the same to you, peace out.